So there's an incoming change to YouTube that I think we should all be aware of. The good news is that they are actually being relatively transparent and telling us ahead of time that this change will be happening. But it's still pretty worrisome. So this is a new report from the Financial Times that talks about their new push to combat fake news. But for a brief summary, we'll go to the Daily Beast, who states, YouTube will invest $25 million to improve its news features and combat fake news ahead of the 2018 midterm elections, the Financial Times reports. The company said it would invest in more authoritative news videos to counter the conspiracy theory clips that plague the site. It would also insert text articles in feeds when breaking news occurs and will roll out an information panel promoting videos from legitimate news groups. Neil Mohan, chief product officer at YouTube, told reporters that taking videos down would not be part of this effort. News events are going to be questioned, rightly or wrongly. People will have a conspiratorial opinion. We want users to make decisions for themselves, he said. While Facebook and Twitter have been mostly taking the heat in the fight against disinformation, followers of QAnon, conspiracy theory, and far-right personalities have used the video hosting website as a platform. This is very worrisome. Is fake news a problem on YouTube? Absolutely. I don't think any of us will deny that fact, but the problem is that if you try to combat fake news specifically, if you try to target conspiracy theorists, it's really difficult to not also bog down independent media creators like myself, who don't peddle bullshit. We just give our commentary on pressing political issues. And furthermore, they state here, they assure us, that they're not going to be deleting conspiracy theory videos, but they could effectively delete them by using their algorithm to bury them. And I'm not in favor of individuals like Alex Jones. I'm not saying that you delete his channel, because I wouldn't agree with that. But you have to be a really responsible consumer of media. If you think this individual is being honest and telling you the truth, then unfortunately that was a failing on your own part if you let someone this crazy dupe you over. And even if it is the case that conspiracy theorists are able to thrive on YouTube, well, YouTube also created this platform that allowed for independent media to thrive, media that's free from corporate influence. Like when I tell you something, it's not coming through a corporate filter like when you'd hear it from CNN. They can't talk about things that might affect their advertisings. For example, why hasn't MSNBC, a liberal network, not talked about net neutrality? Well, it's because who's their parent company? Comcast. So everything that these cable news outlets or these, quote, authoritative news sources say, it's filtered through large multinational corporations. So we need independent media. And the problem with any tweaks to the algorithm or any changes or any attempts to fight fake news is that these algorithms, even if they are improving, they're still not smart enough to decipher differences between someone just talking about terrorism on YouTube and someone who's promoting it. And in most instances, people are going to be against terrorism. But if we talk about ISIS, for example, the algorithm, it demonetizes it because it thinks that, any talk of terrorism must be to promote it, which is, it's so unfair. There's so much nuance here, right? So I don't know how this will affect us thus far. I'm perfectly fine with them showing articles next to the videos. Like, they're talking about including Wikipedia sources about, let's say if there's a video about the Apollo moon landing, they'll have a Wikipedia article next to it so you can't end up getting duped by a video that tells you that the moon landing was fake. So I'm okay with that. But what I'm not okay with, or really what I'm worried about, is the way this will affect independent media. Because if you are someone who wants to launch a political channel in news and politics, then how will this affect you? Is this raising the barrier to entry for YouTube? Because I don't want it to just be like 10 progressive voices on YouTube. It shouldn't be just myself, Kyle Kalinske, David Pakman, David Dole, Cenk Uygur, and others being the sole authoritative voice on progressivism. People should be able to join the conversation and start YouTube channels if they feel as though there's something missing in all of our commentaries and whatnot. But I'm worried that this is going to further dissuade people from getting involved when I think a lot of people have really insightful things to say about politics. So we're going to just have to really wait and see how this turns out. I'm not optimistic. Anytime there's a change, I'm always I'm always worried and expecting the worst, really. I think all of us have come to expect the worst because it just time and again, anything that happens, indie media gets hit the hardest. News and politics gets hit the hardest. So look, at the end of the day, I'll hope for the best but expect the worst. That's kind of what we have to do when it comes to YouTube. And let's just hope that if they're going to target fake news, they do a good job and they don't end up hurting independent media and burying independent media in the process. But I think that they're probably going to end up doing that because they've done it time and again. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. And look, the problem, again, I'll say this about fake news. If you want to fight fake news, you can't censor those voices like Alex Jones. You have to arm yourself with information. You need to teach people how to be responsible consumers of media because there's a lot of dishonest actors out there that profit off of clickbait, that profit off of bullshit theories, conspiracy theories. And that's wrong. That's problematic. That's harmful to American political discourse. But you can't bring down everyone else in the process. Now, I'm not saying that that's not what will result due to this policy change. I hope that's not the case, but it's a possibility that this will hurt indie media. So we'll wait and see. But I'm definitely worried.
Support this podcast by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Humanist Report.